A lot of people concerned here about Ebola. Question is it even Ebola that we're talking about? Well, I want to go back to the root of all this. You're never going to know yourself, but one thing's for sure: there is a deadly disease out here. Okay, it's killing people, and it could be killing people for a number of different reasons. Number one, it is Ebola, and they're handling this thing sloppy, and it's getting out of control, and it's exactly as you see it. Or it's a different kind of Ebola in which they're not telling us, that is affecting people differently and mutating differently, and it's totally different than what they're wanting us to believe it is. Or it's not Ebola whatsoever. And how are you ever going to know any of this? Some people out there, a lot of people have their own theories out here, but some people think that the whole thing's fake. That's dangerous, because there is a disease out here, there's a virus, there's something in here that are killing people. Now, in doing all my research, I found it kind of odd when you go over to Africa, a lot of these guys that had machetes running people off were running them off stating, "Get up, get out, you don't have Ebola. You have malaria," is what they were telling them. Because they were believing that this was not Ebola, it was something else. It didn't turn out to be malaria, but they still could not figure out what it was, and they had their suspicions that this was not Ebola. It's something else. Yes, it's deadly, but they're not telling us what it is, therefore we cannot correctly treat it. So when doing some research, anytime you come upon, let's say, two maps on two total different things, and you lay them on top of each other, and they just so happen to match the patterns, you'd be like, wow, what are the odds of this? Well, let me give you an example of just that. You see, this recent Ebola outbreak in Africa coincides with a massive meningitis vaccine campaign that targeted over 100 million Africans, notably including all 4 African countries at the heart of this epidemic: Guinea, Nigeria, Liberia, and Sierra Leone, in an area where Ebola or anything like this had never been seen before. This cost-effective vaccine was called Meningitis, cost less than 50 cents per dose, and it was kept outside of the cold chain for up to 4 days at up to 40 degrees Celsius. You have to realize some of these vaccines are live vaccines that they're giving people, and it's all experimental. Now, this vaccine resistant movement is investigating the link between this, and they say there's no coincidences. That when you're seeing this, this is showing us that the World Health Organization and the CDC deliberately are trying to cover up their bloody tracks of them going in to this region of Africa through a meningitis vaccine campaign, injected over 100 million people, and in this exact same area, all of a sudden Ebola emerges. Doesn't take a rocket scientist these days, folks. People are waking up. This is what they're doing. Fraudulent as it gets, huge cover-up, and this is information they surely don't want the masses to know, that, they just so happen to be going through the same region before it all happened, sticking 100 million people with needles. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu7. Peace.